So why in the world do 50% of owner-operators fail within their first 3 years of trucking? Who am I and what in the world do I know about trucking? Well, I've been VP of Operations here at ET Transport for the last 20 years. Wow, that's a long time. Since 2006. Over these last 20 years, I've seen a lot. I've seen owner-operators that fail. I've seen owner-operators that are extremely successful. I've seen owner-operators that ended up moving and opening up their own small fleets. And there is a correlation between successful owner-operators and owner-operators that fail. So in today's video, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why owner-operators will fail. And we'll start off with number 1 with the financing. The original thing that you did was done wrong. So when you're out at the dealerships financing one of these power units, you need to finance these trucks properly. So one of the things where I see people go wrong is with the financing duration. So today's 2026, sometimes I see people buying a 2021 and financing it over the course of 4 years, okay? I do not recommend to do that. If you're going to go to a 4-year-old truck or a 5-year-old truck, you should only be financing it for 24 months. Remember one thing, the dealerships are all interested in you financing it for the longest duration because everybody makes money off of you. The banks make a ton of money off of you. The finance broker makes a ton of money off of you. The only one losing is you. Second thing I see is people trying to get away with not having a down payment. You know, I highly advise against that. If you are going to finance a truck, make sure you're going to, if you're buying a 2021, make sure that you're buying it with a substantial down payment. In today's world, I'd probably say between 30 to 40% would be a substantial down payment. And the last thing we'll talk about is the interest rates. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen an owner-operator, when I look at their bill of sales, when I look at their finance agreement, they're paying 18, 19, 20, 22% interest rates. That is a recipe for disaster in today's world. All right, second biggest mistake that I see owner-operators making is they have horrible money management skills. What do I mean by that? So sometimes owner-operators, I see them, you know, in good days, they make $7,000 in 15 days, they spend $7,000. They make $10,000, they spend $10,000. You have to differentiate, you know, when you're an owner-operator, that money that you make, you can't just take it all and spend it all. You have to put money in reserves. You need to put money aside for those tires. You have to put money aside for the taxes. You can't just spend everything that you make. Another example that I see, you know, a lot of owner-operators do, I don't know what it is with, you know, their love for pickup trucks, but, you know, the second they sign that deal, they get themselves a semi-truck all of a sudden, you know, within the next 2 or 3 months. And I see this constantly, you know, is that they're going to get themselves a pickup truck. I don't know what it is with pickup trucks and truck drivers, but definitely something that I see, you know, repetitive that I see with owner-operators. Another example of no money management would be their inability to calculate their cost per mile. And this is very, very important. Like if I asked an owner-operator, what do you spend per mile just on your fuel alone? A lot of them are clueless. And with today's, you know, rates being at $4.50 or $5 per gallon, you know, it probably costs a US driver about 86 cents to 95 cents, depending on how efficient their truck is, just on fuel alone. So how do you know which loads to take? How do you know that the loads that are being offered to you are competitive if you don't know your true cost per mile? You have to know your true cost per mile, especially with reoccurring expenses. Now, the third mistake that I see, and this is probably a huge one, is when they go out of business, the reason why they went out of business was because they had no reserves. They didn't have money saved up for a rainy day. Now, you can't buy a truck on credit. You can't take credit from your line of credit to put a down payment for your truck. You should have liquid cash where you don't need to borrow that money and pay interest on that money. I think with today's labor rates, you know, being at $175 to $250 in labor rates, I feel like you should have at least, at the bare minimum, probably $15,000 to $25,000 reserved after you bought the truck, after that truck is on the road. You should still have between $15,000 to $25,000 in a bank account for the rainy day. Let's not forget to change 10 tires in your truck is going to cost you anywhere between, you know, $3,500 at the bare minimum to about $4,500, $5,000, depending on the tires that you purchase. So you have to have money set aside. Number 4 is, this is new that I've seen, especially over the last couple of years. I would say that people are plating their trucks with the company that they worked for as a company driver. So let me explain. So a company that is good to you as a company driver might not be the best fit for you as an owner-operator, right? So if a company runs, I don't know, 50, 100, 150 company trucks and they have 10, 15, 20 owner-operators, if you were working as a company driver for that company and things were amazing there as a company driver, The same rule doesn't apply if you're going to be an owner-operator. Yes, there are some companies that are really good, both for company drivers and owner-operators, but I still think a lot of owner-operators are working for the same companies that they worked for as company drivers, and maybe that's not the best fit for them, or there are better opportunities there. You need to keep your eye open with what else is being offered in the market, okay? And now we're gonna talk about number 5, and I see this a lot, is the wrong attitude. Okay, now what do I mean by wrong attitude? So somebody gets themselves a brand new Kenworth or a brand new, Freightliner or a Volvo, it doesn't matter which truck, they buy themselves a brand new truck. All of a sudden this mentality that I am an owner-operator. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me where to drive. I won't go there, or, I won't go to this destination. I won't go to that destination. And to add to that, I can definitely see where owner-operators would be like, okay, now I'm an owner-operator, I could take 1 step back or 2 steps back. I don't have to work as hard. I don't have to be on the road for so long. I could take 5-6 days off. And those 5-6 days off, especially when you have your payments, your reoccurring payments, that can be paralyzing and that can put you into the hole. All right, so just to recap, the 5 places where I see owner-operators going wrong, which contributes to their failure rates in North America, is number 1, when they purchased their truck, the financing was done wrong. Number 2, they need to work on their money management skills. Number 3, you must have reserves if you're gonna become an owner-operator. Number 4, their position was not the right fit for them. And number 5, the wrong attitude when purchasing a truck. Hopefully you learned something from this video. I got lots of information for owner-operators on my channel. Feel free to scroll through. I'm Ronan, and I'll catch you in my next one.